Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 543.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about when to sell your house for more money. And this article comes to us from CNBC. It was written by Diane Olick, and it says, want to sell your home? Hurry up and list it next week. It's dated March 26, 2019. So they're talking about listing it in the first week of April, and you're going to find out why that is a magic week. But first, there are 3 bullet points to this article. It says, homes listed in the first week of April get 14% more online views on average, and are likely to sell 6 days faster on average than the rest of the year. The second bullet point says the number of buyers jumps dramatically in April, but the number of listings doesn't peak until a little later, so there is less seller competition. And the third bullet point says the average rate on the 30-year fixed mortgage has fallen more than 1/4 percentage point in the last week and is nearly a full percentage point lower than the recent peak last November. And the article says, timing is everything, especially in a housing market that has been less than dependable lately. So if you want to get the best price for your home in the shortest amount of time, you'd better list it next week, at least according to Realtor.com. Homes listed in the first week of April get 14% more online views on average and are likely to sell 6 days faster than the average during the rest of the year. Homes sold in April are also priced 6% higher than those in January. According to the most recent pricing data, that could mean an additional $17,000 for sellers listing the typical home price around $306,000. One caveat is that Realtor.com is looking at average prices and does not take into account the type of homes for sale at different times of year. Larger, more expensive homes tend to be listed in the spring because families like to move over the summer during school vacations. Given the time it takes from listing to close, putting a home on the market in early April positions sellers to attract buyers seeking to close and move before the beginning of a school year, said Danielle Hale, chief economist for Realtor.com. The number of buyers jumps dramatically in April, but the number of listings doesn't peak until a little later, so there is less seller competition. The average list price in June is higher than April, again, as larger family homes are being listed during school vacations, but there are fewer buyers, which increases the chance for a price reduction, although not by much. Homes listed in June are 1% more likely to see a price reduction and garner 2% fewer online views on average than the rest of the year. If next week was already a great week to list, the steep drop in mortgage rates that started last week is only making it better. Buyers now have a little bit more purchasing power. The average rate on the 30-year fixed mortgage has fallen more than 1/4 percentage point in the last week and is nearly a full point lower than the recent peak last November. Every 1/4 point drop knocks about $50 off the monthly payment on a $300,000 mortgage. Yeah, I just want to pause there for a moment and say that's a little gift that Chairman Powell of the Fed gave to everyone by announcing that he was not going to be raising interest rates for the remainder of 2019. Goldman Sachs had priced in 4 rate hikes in 2019, which would have been an additional minimum of 1% higher interest rates. So because rates are not going to go up this year, the market sold off, interest rates declined slightly, and that means less interest that you're going to pay and hence a lower monthly payment. The article goes on to say, of course, all real estate is local and locality can impact timing. The best time to list in New York, Chicago, and Dallas is March 31st, according to Realtor.com. In Atlanta and Seattle, it's April 7th. In Los Angeles and Boston, it's April 14th. In Phoenix and Tampa, it's early June. And not everyone agrees. Researchers at Zillow, a competitor of Realtor.com, claim the first 2 weeks in May are the best nationally. They add that homes listed on Saturdays get the most page views, although most real estate agents will tell you Thursday is when most people are trolling online, planning their weekend house hunts. Sellers time their listings to optimize their sale in all sorts of ways, said Skylar Olson, Zillow's Director of Economic Research and Outreach. Some need to time the sale just right to manage their own synchronized home purchase. Others are seeking to get the highest sales price possible. End of article. Well, I thought that was really interesting. I will leave a link to that in the show notes and on my website. Lots of great details in there. One thing I would say is I've heard there's a trend happening, and that is that people are buying homes without actually looking at them. They're just looking at the pictures online, and then I think it was a number around 12% are buying homes without ever having seen it. I really discourage people from doing that. I think it's a real problem to do that because sometimes photographers will purposely not put in some kind of a negative thing that might be in the yard. For example, you might be looking right into the rooftop of another house, but the photographer didn't photograph the picture that way. So I would just be really certain that you go in person or have someone you know go in person, and maybe they could live video from inside the house as a minimum if you can't be there. But I would really discourage purchasing a home without having seen it. There's all kinds of misrepresentation that can happen, some intentional, some unintentional, but it's just really important since you're making such a large purchase, you really need to make sure that this is a house that you want, because the cost of trying to fix a mistake is going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars, if not more. So it's a good thing to look online, check out all the photos, narrow down the pictures to the pretty houses that you like, that you want to take a look at, but just make sure that you're actually going in person and touring the actual home. That way you can also check out the neighborhood, the street, the noise level, things that pictures aren't always going to pick up. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, please hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as new podcasts are available. And we're almost finished with this round of our review contest. Remember, there are 25 prizes to win, 11 Wealthy Mindset Blueprint audios valued at $197, 11 of my Wealth Heiress books, and 3 wealth mentoring sessions with me valued at $500. All you need to do is leave a podcast review on iTunes. That'll get your name in the hat 5 times. If you leave a book review on Amazon, that will get your name in the drawing 7 times. And if you do both, your name goes in the drawing 10 times. And you have a really good chance to win. So definitely do this. I'll be announcing the winners on the first podcast in April. And if you haven't yet completed our survey, I'd love it if you would take 3 minutes and answer 10 quick questions about you and what you like, so that I can tailor-make podcasts just for you. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.